What else would make a bathtub feel more like home to a turtle? Frogs.
Ahoy, George. Need any help there? Oh, these? Here you go.
The flippers look like frog feet.
Wait, you can't run into the... Never mind. Well, you're in anyway. You'll want this too.
The flippers helped him swim fast enough to catch up with frogs. It also helped that the frogs had never seen another frog so big and hairy before. Now his tub even sounded like the turtle's home. Maybe sand and snails and frogs just weren't enough. George brought back all the green lake stuff he could find, even the slimy things. He'd accidentally caught a fish. The turtle had to like that. How could sand and snails and frogs and lily pads and slimy things, plus a fish, not be enough? The only thing the lake had that this tub didn't was Mr. Quint. Maybe a monkey could never make a turtle happy. Except by leaving it alone. So George decided to go back to what he was doing in the first place, searching for Bill's lost disc. What he discovered was more than just a lost toy. And they could hold their breath for a long, long time. Much longer than a monkey.
Ah, what a day. I can't wait for a nice, long soak in the tub.
Whoa!
Who are you? George, has it really been that long since I cleaned the tub, or did you do this? Okay, everybody's back home. I hope you've learned there's more to a happy home than just a dirty bathtub.
Thinking back, George realized even though it would be fun to have worms living under his bed, they'd be happier in their own home, dirt. Still, it was exciting to think new friends might turn up right in your own backyard. Or even under it. After a week in the crowded city, what's more relaxing than driving out to the country for the day? Okay, sometimes the drive is slow. But it's a good time to think about relaxing stuff, like feeding ducks.
Oh, that was the worst traffic ever. But the day's not over yet. Let's feed the ducks. Hi, Mrs. Rankins. Something wrong?
The chicks wandered off. My chicken is very upset. If I don't find them before dark...
Yeah, not much time left to feed ducks either. I'll help you search. You can feed them without me, okay, George? But stay by the duck pen. I don't want you to get lost like the chicks.
Feeding ducks is like a relaxing brain massage. Jumpy Squirrel was a good jumper. And an even better food finder. This was great. George had never had ducks swim all around him before. If ducks swam all around, it meant he was floating down river with ducks. It was almost like being a duck.
Let's see if the chicks are along the fence. Hey, maybe they squeezed out here.
Then they could be anywhere.
Maybe they'll figure out how to find their way home again.
At that very moment, the chicks were trying to find their way home. But they were bad at it. Really bad. And speaking of lost, George was too busy being a duck to notice he was floating away from home. Fast. Jumpy tried to warn George because he didn't want his friend to get lost and take all that food with him. It was a perfect day for boating. Anyone with a boat, or even without, was floating on the river. George had never seen so many different boats in his life. And then he saw a boat that wasn't like any he'd ever seen before. A boat full of cars.
Oh, that's a ferry boat. It carries people in cars across the river.
George loved cars. But cars and boats together? It was the apple pie and ice cream of transportation.
Ahoy! Today's our annual model boat show. Big prizes for little boats.
George! Over here!
What do you think of her, George? Sailors call boats her. I bet a city kid like you never knew that.
Yeah. You made that, Bill?
Yes, sir.
Well, that is pretty impressive, isn't it, George?
Oh, thanks. But it's nothing compared to Mr. Quint's model whaling boat. That's it over there.
Draw the nets, laddies. Aye, aye, Cap'n.
And over there is Mrs. Rankin's ark. And look at all those over there. It's some pretty tough competition this year.
Now, don't underestimate yourself, Bill. That is one fine-looking boat. Good luck. Oh, sure, you can stay with Bill. I'll set you up right here. Okay, I'll be over at the bleachers saving up some seats and sizing up Bill's competition.
I'd sure like to win a ribbon, George. To buy this kit, I had to save 9 weeks of money for my paper route. Oh, I almost forgot to do my paper route. Could you do me a big favor and watch my boat while I'm gone? See you soon.
George knew boat watching was serious business. There were a lot of nice boats here, but not one person had built the greatest boat. A ferry boat. Maybe he could build one. Commanding a ferry had been George's lifelong dream, ever since he first heard of them, earlier that morning. Luckily, Bill's boat looked good as new. Maybe he just put it down the wrong way.
Hey, George, how's it going? I'll be back after I deliver the rest of these papers. Thanks for taking good care of my boat.
George couldn't figure out what he'd done to it. It looked perfect. But he knew one thing.
No!
Bill couldn't enter the contest with this boat. George had to build him a new one, and fast. Unfortunately, George had no idea how to do that.
So you want to grow big and strong like me, huh? Great! I'll show you the proper workout, and you can be as big as me in 5 years.
George couldn't wait 5 years. Not today. One, 2, 3, 4 and a half. George had grown half a licorice whip. Eating like a giraffe and exercising really helped. Maybe he could stretch himself the last half a licorice whip.
That's it, honey. Go to sleep. Nothing makes you grow like a good sleep. And I want you to grow up to be big and healthy.
All this growing made George tired. If sleep made you grow, He could do two things at once. Sleep made George grow a lot, at least in his dream.
I'm sorry. You can't ride the Turbo Python 3000. You're too big.
George didn't grow as big as he had in his dream, but he grew enough to be 5 licorice whips tall.
My hat! I lost my hat!
Seeing Betsy lose her hat reminded the man with the yellow hat of that fateful day.
My hat! I lost my
That's it. I'm not afraid of roller coasters. I'm afraid of losing my yellow hat. Your hat is safe, Betsy!
One, two, three, 4, 5. You grew already?
Any chance you've been nibbling on those licorice whips, George? When you were first measured, the licorice whips were longer, so it took 4 of them to measure you. But every time you took a bite, you made it smaller, so now it takes 5 to measure you.
So you didn't grow at all. Sorry.
What's with all these sour faces? I don't like sour faces at me park, you know.
Oh, hi there, Captain Zany. You see, this monkey's too short to ride the Turbo Python 3000.
Too short? Bah! He's not too short. Monkeys don't grow very big. That's why we have the... You must be this tall if you're a monkey side.
You can ride, George, and I'm coming with you. But first, give me all your licorice. Whoa!